And the advisory, what we do as advisors, as people, that's what realizing your wealth is all about. So if you have the right portfolio, the right plan, and the right people, the right person who's managing your wealth, you will be wealthy, you will feel wealthy, you will realize your wealth. That's what Aretec Wealth is all about. This is the Realize Your Wealth podcast by Aretec Wealth. We want you to be wealthy. We want you to feel wealthy. We want you to realize your wealth. All right, here we go. We're back. It's Friday. We've had a good week or so in the markets. A nice recovery as we've moved into August. It's a little rainy out there in the city though today, but it's been a nice summer weather for the most part. But how you doing over there, Greg? What's happening? What's going on today?
Yeah, really nice weather this week, except for today. Looks like it's going to be a nice weekend. Markets have been having a strong start here to August, so all good on my end. No complaints at all. What about you, Will? How are things?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, we got summer going on at home. We got camp and sports and all that. Lots of family stuff. And been back and forth from the cottage. Was a little bit of a family reunion for the last couple of weeks. A Simpson family reunion that we had
Oh, there
going
you go.
on. But that's behind us, and we move forward. It was nice to see everyone. But yeah, looking forward to getting into things today. Markets have been strong. I think for us, some of that's helped. We've had some strategic positioning in some assets, especially the commodities and materials and gold, which have been humming along nicely here. But things have been moving in the right direction here overall, which is good to see.
Yeah, just a question. I know we're going to get into some more kind of bigger picture stuff on today's podcast, but just a question on the markets. Will, has there been a catalyst? Like obviously this week has been pretty strong. Has there been a particular catalyst or just a strong start to August?
I mean, not really. I think we're seeing some of the Middle East, the geopolitical tension. Some of that seems to have been backed off, which helps. I think that's what you were seeing. A lot of the year overall has been fears around high oil prices, inflation, higher rates. Some of that is weakening. We've seen the U.S. dollar come off a little bit. Some of the concerns around interest rates, but also July, you had some of that weakness in markets. So from the start of summer, kind of to the end of July or late July, there was a lot of weakness in those tech names, and you're seeing some strength when you get these 5 or 10% corrections in this market. Often, investors come in and see a bit of an opportunity and start chipping away and buying, but things have been moving, showing some signs of life out there in markets, which is good to see. It's not necessarily everywhere right across the board. Some of the more defensive, non-correlated assets have lost a little bit of steam here, but it's been good to see at least in the short term so far. And August, things moving in the right direction here.
Yeah, always good to get always good to get things started off on the right foot. So what we want to go into today, Will, which we've talked about this before, and it's an interesting concept, and we've talked about it before at different times on the podcast. It's just this idea of maybe like the Aretec wealth triangle or different pillars, and basically how it relates to how we work with investors and clients. So maybe just from a big picture, will give us a high level overview of that idea.
Yeah, so I like to work. I think a lot of what we do that's unique and different, and a lot of the value that we'll bring to the table for clients and investors kind of fits right in that triangle, so to speak. And triangle is one of those geometric shapes that's self reinforcing and very strong. And we've talked about this in kind of different ways and different iterations for years. So three points to the triangle, so to speak. One I think of as or first and foremost, that main point or that first point is really the portfolio and the investment side. So a big part, obviously, of what we do as portfolio managers, as wealth advisors, day in day out, is investing money, managing risk, taking advantage of opportunity, navigating, positioning through markets. So Why don't we dive into that first point of the triangle first and foremost?
Yeah, so with the portfolio, Will, would you say that's kind of like the most important piece, or is that the piece that often things start from, or how would you characterize it?
Look, I think often that's the starting point of our discussions because having a portfolio that's working hard, managing risk, steering through markets, taking advantage of opportunities, has the right positioning, the right tactical shifts, the right strategic layout is going to mean a lot for overall long term results. So I think that's a big part of what we do day in and day out. But the other points or other parts of this triangle, think of it as 3 parts, all sort of self-reinforcing. So one is the portfolio. The other kind of point of that triangle is the overall financial wealth and retirement planning that we do. So a lot of myself, Greg, our team's time is spent looking at that. So I find the investments by themselves, although important, without the plan in place, the portfolio can be working hard, can be doing its job, but the plan kind of puts things in context where we can look and say, all right, where are you now? Where do you want to be 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now? What do we need to do to help you get there? How do we optimize things? How can we set things up, minimize tax? We've done some podcasts on that, setting up the estate efficiently, setting up a retirement income plan, a drawdown plan, all those other elements that come into your net worth. Yes, the portfolio is there. We want to have it working hard, moving in the right direction, but it loses some context and it loses some meaning if there's not a plan that's in place. So I find those are the first kind of two points and pillars of the Aretec wealth triangle, so to speak, is you want to have the investment portfolio and you want to also have that financial retirement and wealth plan to support it.
Do the first 2 points, well, do they kinda go together? Because if you have the portfolio, but you have absolutely no plan or context, then that's only maybe halfway done. But then if you have a really, really nice plan, it looks good, goes through everything, but you don't have a portfolio working hard, then that's, again, job's only half done. So do you really kinda need both of them together?
Yeah, I think they work well. I mean, look, it's not like every one of our investors has a full like I think different investors need different levels of planning, but I think it's important to have that and to look at that. And I think it just adds a lot more meaning and context and value to the overall financial situation when you have it. But they work very well together for sure.
And one thing just on the planning, Will, like to your point, there's kind of different needs. So some clients might need the more full detailed, but other clients they just want projections. Here's my portfolio. If I save X amount of dollars a year, this rate of return, what does that look like? So point is there's different levels, but probably varying degrees are needed.
Yeah, and that's conversations that we have with clients is looking at what level. Sometimes it can be a back of the envelope plan. Sometimes it can be something that's more detailed with the software. Sometimes it can be a full financial tax plan, retirement income plan, estate plan, and go into to a ton of detail. But I find you want things set up, you want them optimized, you want things set up as efficiently and as effectively as possible. That being said, a portfolio that's working hard and moving in the right direction is probably the best retirement plan that you can have. But I find without that context and that meaning of a plan, sometimes the portfolio can kind of lose that. There's a this can be misunderstandings on risk levels and targets and that sort of thing, and it just gives some meaning to the picture. But the third pillar, which kind of brings it all together. So if we think portfolio plan, it's really the person, the advisor, the team, and that's what we find is that there's say hedge funds or funds you could go and invest in and purely 100% of what they do is navigate markets, and then you've got other advisors that just purely do planning and outsource the investments. But what we do is really this triangle of value that we're trying to bring to clients. So it's on the investment, it's on the portfolio side, it's on that financial wealth and retirement planning side, but it's also on the relationship side and things like behavioral finance and wealth coaching. And really that's about helping you do things that are in your best interest that maybe you wouldn't have done otherwise, and helping you implement things, and just working through different ideas, strategies, and actually getting things done. And so many times, again, a portfolio can be off over here, and forgotten about. A plan can be done once, and it's just forgotten about. But if you have that relationship with an advisor who's working with you, who's coaching, who's helping, leading the portfolio, leading you through markets, leading you through your financial plan, who's providing some creativity, some strategic thinking. To me, there's a ton of value in that, and that's what really our triangle, the Aretec Wealth Triangle, is all about. Because we want to provide that value for you on the portfolio, on the investment management side. We want to provide it on the planning side, but we want to also provide it through the advisory relationship. And when I think of those, they're all kind of mutually reinforcing, because you have to have the portfolio and the plan support each other, but you need to have the right advisor, the right portfolio manager, right wealth advisor who's going to implement that portfolio, who's going to implement that plan. And so investors who don't have that whole equation together, or advisors for that matter, there's something missing. And so I find that's where we can really add the most value, and be the most useful to clients, is when we're working in that triangle, so to speak.
So does that third point, Will, is the idea behind it to just kind of tie everything together and really be that quarterback for someone's overall financial situation?
Yeah, that's a big part of it for sure. And I just think that the best advisors are providing leadership, and they're going to do that. They're going to do that through a relationship with you. They're going to provide that strategy, that creativity, actually go and tactically implement things. So I think it does all pull it together, coordinating things. But it's a big part of it, because without that advisor relationship, there's not going to be the level of trust or confidence for a plan to be implemented, or a portfolio to be implemented, or for money to be managed in the right way. So it all has to come together, and that's what we find, is that without an advisor, sure, could you go and stick your money in fund somewhere and let it go, or could you go and have and we have fee only planners that we will work with, but could you go and have just a plan done for you somewhere, for sure. But the advisory relationship, the wealth management relationship, really brings and ties it all together. And to your point, really acts as the quarterback, or that the leadership to bring it all together for you.
So at the end of every podcast, Will, you always say we want you to be wealthy, we want you to feel wealthy, we want you to realize your wealth. How does that tie in to the Artec Wealth Triangle?
Well, we were talking about that and thinking about that a little bit, just conceptually, and I think a lot of times it's maybe not exactly overlaying like this, but the investments in the portfolio, if they're working hard, they're doing their job, they're moving in the right direction, that's going to help you be wealthy. You're going to see your net worth. You're going to see your portfolio going up. We're navigating risk of the market. We're taking advantage of opportunity. Sometimes that happens on the planning side too, if we've implemented something. But I find the plans are really about context, seeing things differently. When you can look at, all right, here's where I'm at now. Here's where I want to be 5, 10 years from now. You've got a plan in place that no matter what, you're not going to run out of money, or you're going to be okay. It gives you that peace of mind, that feeling of financial freedom, not worrying about markets, not worrying about retirement. So that to me is feeling wealthy. So
Mm,
yes, if we invest money right, you're gonna be wealthy. Things are gonna move in the right direction. Feeling wealthy is that peace of mind, enjoying life, enjoying retirement. You can also see through the plan, how much can I spend, how much can I travel, how much can I gift to my kids, grandkids? How can I help out family? That sort of thing, enjoying life. And then the advisory, what we do as advisors, as people, that's what realizing your wealth is all about. So if you have the right portfolio, the right plan, and the right people, the right person who's managing your wealth, you will be wealthy, you will feel wealthy, you will realize your wealth. That's what Aratech Wealth is all about. That's what we're here for. So we'll be back with everybody next week. Enjoy the weekend. Keep enjoying the summer, and looking forward to seeing you then.
decent.
This is the Realize Your Wealth podcast by Aretec Wealth. We want you to be wealthy. We want you to feel wealthy. We want you to realize your wealth.